our design center within Remax, our Mac Center, is now been changed to Megaphone. So all your marketing pieces that were created within Design Center, whenever you take a listing, just listed, just sold, social media posts, flyers, all that is going to be located within Megaphone. And if you need to know how to get to that or how to navigate it, then go right ahead and get into Remax University, and there are training videos on how to navigate within Megaphone to where you're not having to spend a lot of time trying to figure it out. Let me make sure I mute everybody here first. Second thing is that, as you know, we've posted out there that we are now operating within Workplace. It's owned and operated by Facebook, but it is not a Facebook account. It looks very similar to Facebook, but we're getting away from the private Facebook group page that we had, because not everybody is operating within Facebook or knows about it or even know how to get to our private Facebook page. So we're going to be dissolving that here soon, most likely by the end of next week. So you'll no longer be able to access that or see posts within there. Everything will be within Workplace. Workplace, although, also has an app. So if you do not have the app on your phone, download the app, use your same username, log in to get inside that. When a post is made, it will also notify you by email. So if you see a Workplace email at Remax TerraSol, that's coming from somebody making a post within there, so you get notified by that as well. Another thing, I don't know if any of you had watched the videos from the Remax conference at R4 over in Orlando, but they had a guest speaker there. Is a Remax agent, young Remax agent. He goes by the name of Q. I forget exactly how he spells or how he pronounces his name, but he goes by Q. And we're going to have him come out May 12th to speak to our agents. And just a little quick story about him is he was a college football student, got out of that, got into real estate young. 2 years into it, he's only been in the business for 2 years as a Remax agent. 26 years old. Last year, he closed 106 transactions, totaling over $500,000 at an average sale price of 200 grand. So it's a lot of product. And so anyways, he's going to come and tell us how he does it, how he operates. And surprisingly, it's nothing new. It's all back to the basics. So cold calling, door knocking, that kind of stuff. So we're going to have him come out and speak. We're going to do an in-person office meeting on that day. We will also be recording it so we can put that out to everybody who can't make it from the greater offices at distances. So we'll do that. Looking forward to it. Anybody have any wants and needs or new listings coming up? Anything like that? Everything's selling like hotcakes. All right, let's move on to Lena. Do you have anything for us? Any updates?
Oh, I'm first, huh?
Yeah.
Gosh, okay. Well, I'm just here to let you know that if you need me, reach out. I know the NHD, we're required by law, and we're a very small part of your transaction, but we save transactions. So, don't ever hesitate to reach out if your client sees anything, on their NHD report that, freaks them out and, makes them, question whether or not they want to move on with their transaction. Have them give me a call. A lot of times it's the way we present things to them that will, ease them and, make them reconsider. A lot of times talking to a professional, I'm not saying myself, somebody in my office, one of our engineers, one of our in-house professionals, we can get additional information to help them make that decision. So take yourself out of the liability loop and let us talk to them. So thank you.
Awesome. Roberta? Oh, you're on mute.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me, Leo. For those of you that are newer that don't know me, I'm Roberta. I'm with First American Home Warranty CRESS, Home Protection Plan. Like Lena, I actually save deals too, and I also keep you out of court. A lot of people don't realize in this hot market, what's happening is I've noticed a lot of buyer's agents are skipping the home warranty in the purchase agreement, thinking it's a cleaner offer if they don't ask for warranty, but actually that really puts you at risk for two things. Not only does it prevent you from having a sort of a backup plan when, say, the physical inspector spooks the buyer a little bit about, well, the property is pretty old, everything looks like it could be breaking soon. You want to have a home warranty to keep you in the game, so you can refer to that and say, you're getting a home warranty, so if something breaks literally the day after close, they're going to take care of you. But also, without a home protection plan, CRESS with First American, you don't have any legal protection if, God forbid, there's a lawsuit. I know, Leo, this is a big deal for the broker and also for your wallet, because you do not want to be spending money representing yourself without the E&O protection that we have a relationship with the First American CRESS plan. So please take advantage of that. You have an automatic $50,000 when you use First American CRESS to diffuse a possible lawsuit after the close. Most of the time, 50 grand will kind of make it go away. But if you don't ask for a home warranty with us, you don't get that protection. So it's a twofold thing. And I know Leo really wants everybody to make sure they have a warranty, no matter what side of the deal you're representing. So keep that in mind. You can also add a home warranty up to 30 days after the close too. So, and that doesn't matter who buys that, whether it's the buyer or you. So just keep that in mind. So that's my update. Thank you, Leo.
Awesome, thank you. Anybody have any questions for her? All right, Matt, any updates at your end?
Yeah, good to see you, Leo. Good to see everybody, the RE/MAX team. Interest rates, as far as rates go, we've seen a little bit. They've come down a little bit. I priced out a 15-year fixed today at 2.25, a conventional loan at 2.625. So I was quoting in the very low threes to the upper twos. So those have come down almost a quarter. Quicken Loans, we're President's Club with Quicken. We do a lot of business. Only 2 brokers in California have that status. But they came out with a jumbo loan. It's a 10% down, no PMI. I have a purchase on a second home. My clients live in Connecticut. They bought this big old fatty up in Riverside County in the millions, and they were able to put 10% down, and there's no PMI. So just call me, just like Lena said, just call me. I'll put my number, my email in the chat. So if you guys have any scenarios, typically all the RE/MAX agents that use us, they have us on speed dial or they just text, and yeah, service is good. So we're happy to help, and we always put RE/MAX agents first and their clients. So just give me a buzz. I typically just sit at the kitchen table all day and hammer out pre-qual. So happy to help.
Awesome.
Go get them.
By the way, everyone, I've literally had 0 complaints about Matt and Mark on their financing with their clients and interactions with the agents. So great job. Okay.
Thanks, pal.
Let's get on to our meeting. Today's meeting is all about exceeding client expectations, 25 ways to do that. So let's go on with Karen, who's going to lead us again today.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Good to see everyone. Hello, Matt. All right. So I have some fun. I think this is going to be a fun class today, and I would love to get your input if there are things that you are doing throughout your transactions that make your client experience that much better. I would welcome you to share that with us. I'm going to give you 20 plus different ideas for really improving your client experience and getting those 5-star reviews, which are so important, right? So let me go ahead and share my screen. Just give me 1 second here, and I will bring this up. Hopefully everyone can see that. Okay. All right. So how to exceed your customer expectations and enhance your client experience. The first thing I want to talk about today is really what the importance is of wowing your clients in today's market and really moving forward, much more so than ever before. I also want to talk about customer service and your team. Now you may be thinking, well, I don't know that I really have a team, but you do, right? It's your escrow, it's title, it's Roberta, with home warranty, and Lena. All of our vendor affiliates are part of our team. So we want to make sure that we're surrounded by good people. That's one of the reasons we have everyone on, and we are, a cohesive team. Matt and Mark are great. And a big part of what all of our vendor affiliates do is really they're representing us when we refer them, right? So we want to make sure that everyone's on the same page. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And then I'm diving into the 20 plus ways of improving your client experience and really giving you 20 different ideas and some resources and links for resources that you can use to help you out. So one of the reasons why it's more important than ever is that we've got disruptors coming into the market like never before, right? We've never seen anything like that. Maybe COVID slowed them down, maybe it sped them up, I don't know, but they are coming out in full force, and we need to stop them. We need to up our game in terms of our own client experiences so that we can stop them in their tracks. But the bottom line is that 90% of home buyers and sellers still want to use an agent that they know, like, and trust, right? So with that in mind, how do we enhance that, right? And thinking about your own online brand, your online presence, making sure that you've got those 5-star reviews that are building up so that you can have that sort of social proof that somebody's experience with you was so great. Somebody that's really, looking at you online will feel like they could have the same experience with you. So we want to wow them with great service. And I'm not just talking about like an awesome closing gift. It's what can you do in the interim during that transaction that really creates a great experience and clients for life, right? And when you go to ask for that review, you get that 5-star review. I think we've all had experiences that stand out with really good customer service. I know I have. Apple talks about the Apple experience. There's a book called The Apple Experience. Nordstrom, Four Seasons Hotels, those higher end products and hotels and shops and restaurants and so forth, you really feel that added service, right? And it keeps us coming back and actually willing to even pay a little bit more for them. So before I jump into the 20 things that you can do, look at who your team is. We talked earlier about, who are our affiliates, and does your team have the same level of customer service that you do? Like, everything is good when it's good, but when we run into a problem, we need somebody there, right? So they are an extension of you. So maybe make sure that you have conversations with them to make sure that they're staying on top of the client, that they're giving the same level of customer service. And be picky. Everyone showing up today really has a vested interest in their own business, and that says a lot. So use our recommended vendor affiliates. And has anybody ever had a bad review? I won't make you raise your hand, but if you do, if you're finding that you're getting some negative feedback, try to take a step back and really understand, and try to not come to that in a very defensive way, but try to understand really what they're telling you, right? And ask yourself, how can I, continue to create this level of service amongst my clients, right? And try to always improve yourself. So listen to the feedback that you're getting. So get your team on board, get the affiliates on board with your level of care and service. Also, one of the biggest complaints about real estate agents is their level of communication. So if that's something that you might have heard in the past, that is something your clients are telling you could improve on in one way or another, seek out ways that you can improve and add systems into your business. So for example, and I want to throw this out at you guys, one of the things that I do is send an email to my clients each week and say, here's what you can expect for the week, and I just kind of set the stage for what's going to happen this week. To me, that I think it goes a long way, because if I might forget something to tell them later on in the week or something like that. At least I've prepared them for what the week ahead looks like. So with you guys, let me ask you a question and feel free to unmute yourself here. In terms of communication, what is your communication plan with your clients? And how does it affect the experience?
Well, definitely you got to communicate regularly with them. It's, you know, like I've got a client who's out of the area, you know, Northern California. I'm selling his house down here in Anaheim, and giving him like what you did as far as what to expect this week. Every Monday, he gets an update from what's transpired the week before after we last communicated. You know, it's an unknown process for them, and they have no idea what's going on unless you're communicating with them.
Right, right. Okay, awesome. Thank you. What about vendor affiliates? What do you guys do to kind of?
I probably over communicate. I'm on a daily conversation with my clients, letting them know what I'm doing, if I need anything. We become friends. So, and then it kind of backfires because you're getting text messages at 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. So you give them an inch, they take a mile, but it is what it is. I'll take that right now. And I know if I was in their shoes, I always like being fully updated on the status of everything, you know, what's going to happen, and then it happens. So I probably over communicate, but it seems to be working.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Karen,
Yes.
I'd like to chime in. I was suggested by a veteran realtor that I just let the client know what I'm doing, that I'm actually doing some things. So maybe I've ordered, you know, some, you know, the hazard report, just kind of a list of kind of what I'm doing, so they know that I'm actually working and not just sitting around letting other people do things. And then, like what Matt was saying, I worked with a lender that was just, he sent out text messages with videos and emails with videos and telling first-time buyers kind of what was going on, and it kind of explained to them what it meant at what they were doing in the process. So for example, if it was, you know, getting the appraisal, he kind of gave a little snippet of what that meant, you know. So he was teaching first-time buyers too in the process. So I thought that was really a nice touch.
Educating them along the way.
Yeah, definitely over communicating.
And I think that all of this, whether it's giving a status report at the end of the week, or maybe here's what to expect during the week, is it relieves their anxiety, right? In the first time buyer example that Lisa gave, it's sort of educating them along the way, like this is normal, right? Because they don't know. And I heard this quote once, and it really resonated with me. On a lot of different levels, but it was, in the absence of information, people make up stories in their mind as to what's going on. So think of that from a listing standpoint. If you get a listing, put it on the market, and then it's 2 weeks before that seller hears from you again, they start, in the absence of that information of what's going on, they start making up their own stories in their head as to what's going on. And typically they're wrong. And typically they're making you the bad guy, right? Oh, he must have gone on vacation, or, you know, maybe he's too busy working on other listings. We're not important enough. So circumvent that by, you know, creating, just at the basic level of your business, a communication plan that sets the stage for a great experience. Okay. All right. So we talked about bad reviews. And then at the end of each transaction, ask them if they're happy with the experience they've had, right? It is much easier to keep an existing client than finding a new one. And even worse, you typically have to pay to find new ones. You know, you're spending money on that, or you're giving referral fees. So why not really take care of the people that you have now? Okay, so let's jump into the 20 things we can do to enhance our client experience. So we kind of have a window of opportunity, right? During the transaction, after the transaction happens, we've got this strong window of opportunity that they are most likely to refer us business, right? So let's capitalize on that during the transaction, and maybe for 6 months afterwards. And I want you to write down 1 or 2 of these ideas that you might be able to implement that will really have an impact on your client experience. Okay. So here's how, I didn't really divide them up this way, but it's kind of how I was thinking about them. So we're all in different situations. Some of these tips I'm going to give you are going to be free. Ideas, things that you can do that won't cost you any money. Less expensive ideas that might just really improve your experience with your services for your client, and it really aren't that expensive. And then I threw in a couple luxury ideas just for the fun of it. So I want to hear what, also as we're going through it, has anything resonated, anything that you've done really was loved by your clients? Like it really, you hit a home run. All right, so you can jump in on that. Okay, so the 20+ ways to create raving fans. All right, the first idea is to put together a moving kit, right? And send it to your clients after contingencies are removed. So this could be something where maybe you package up 2 or 3 of these so that you have them on hand. And it could be a package of, boxes, Sharpies, packing materials, garbage bags, tapes, things that they will need to start packing. So we know that after contingencies are removed, that's kind of a big deal. And that would be just a fun little gift you could drop off for them. That really makes a big impact. Now, one resource you can go to, I know, U-Haul has boxes and we have resources for a lot of these things. If you want to do it quickly and online, uline.com sells all these kinds of moving supplies, and you can literally just pick and choose what you want. But create something fun, have it packaged in a fun way, and drop it off for your clients. It really does make a big impact. Okay. Another thing that you can do is when you get the listing, you can hire professional cleaners for your client. A lot of times people will hire stagers or whatever, something different to do if you don't need staging or something like that, is to hire either at the beginning or at the end when they move out. It's the last thing they typically want to do is clean their house once they've moved out. So why not give that to them, as a small gift. So there's 2 right there. The third is, and I always do this, it's sort of a standard practice. I thought it was everyone's, but we'll digitize the relevant documents, the documents from the transaction, right? I put them on a flash drive, give them to them as, when I'm delivering the closing gift. How do you guys do anything fun with how you give them their documents, or do it in a different way? Some people use Dropbox.
Yeah, I think Dropbox is a great way to do that. And as you all know, when you upload your documents in the SkySlope, you can download everything from there and send that out. So you've got it all compiled in one section, or you're not having to fish for it throughout your emails.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Fantastic. Number 4, another thing you can do, provide a list of trusted service providers. So this is something you could do a couple different ways. One, you can just start with people that you've vetted yourself. You've talked to them, plumbers, electricians, all these people that you've used in the past that you may have even had a conversation with and said, hey, I would love to refer you out if a client has my need. I always hand out a handout of my preferred service providers. I use Matt's brother. He's awesome. And so create sort of that concierge service. So that's one way to do it, is just have it on a piece of paper. That's free. You don't have to pay for it. It's your time to put it together. You could create a sort of a concierge service where you tell them that you've got all of these people, and you will give them referrals to anybody they need on an as needed basis. So gosh, I have a great plumber, I've got a great electrician, whatever you guys need, give me a call. So they start to be trained to always call you when they have a need, right? So that's something you might want to work into your business. Again, it's free. It keeps people coming back and connected with you. Okay. Something else you can do is just provide them with a list of home services, the utilities, how to, instructions on how to change their mail or change their address, help them, get going with what they need to do and make it seamless. And one idea that I really liked was to mail it instead of emailing it, because that way it stays on their, kitchen counter, their table, whatever. It doesn't get lost in the shuffle of all of the emails that they get. Just kind of ups your service level a little bit better. Also, you could find companies or charities that'll pick up items for their home for free. So identify who will pick up used furniture. Sometimes it's hard to get rid of that stuff. Clothing, etc., and just make it as easy as possible. So I'm going to stop right there. Does anybody have anything that they do or any companies you guys can refer us to that go along these lines of helping your clients out?
I know a couple of girls here in the office that do, they'll do their, and again, this is in their farm, which is not just their clients, but they do their garage sales, e-waste pickups, dump, I think it's a dump service. And they're supplying these throughout the year in different, obviously different months, but just really providing a service to them.
Leo, I'll jump in. That's we do that. A few of the agents in the office, we do a shred event and a junk removal. So we pick a location, hire the company, and people can just drop off their junk. And this is the second year we've done it, and people love the shred event. We haven't had the second junk event yet, which is coming up soon, but love that kind of thing, and it's really helpful. And yeah, we are also doing the farm.
You, if I remember, you did put that out to your past clients and whatnot, right?
Oh, sure. Anyone. I mean, not just a farm, but any sphere of influence, anybody we put it out to. I mean, it just getting in front of clients or leads and people and just letting them know that we're here to help. And so, and people love it. People really do love it.
There's multiple marketing opportunities within that as well, just leading up to the event and all of that. And think about maybe taking that even a step further. So whatever resources, whatever companies you guys are using for those, maybe include those in a list. Because I know that, when I was moving in the last couple of years, I had more paperwork that I just wanted to shred and all of that. So, whether that shred event is coming up or you've got a company that you could refer them to, you start to become that person that they count on to have somebody that a trusted resource and referral. So think about those things that you can do. It really is just about going a little bit over the extra mile to provide them with, here's a company that picks up furniture for free. So if you don't want, if there's things you don't want, call them, clothing, etc. Just think through all of those things that somebody might want at that time. So number 6 is create, if you guys really want to get creative, create custom tape or labels for them. And there's a company called Nashville Wraps. If you guys Google that, Nashville Wraps. And they've got all kind of custom printing options and packaging. So even if you had, custom tape that is got your logo on it or your name or whatever it is. Another idea was to just print out, and this is inexpensive, Avery labels with each of the family members' names on them. And so here's the labels for the kids. When they box stuff up, they can just put their label on that particular box. It just makes it fun. It shows that you care, and it shows that it just takes it to the next level, that they're not just a client, but somebody that you're being very thoughtful with the gift, if that makes sense. Okay. All right. Another thing you can do, I know some people in the office do this, is assist them with an estate sale. So we do have estate companies that do estate sales here. You could refer them to those. It's not that you've got to orchestrate it or do it yourself, but be that referral source, right? And who do we have here locally? Anybody have a company that they really like?
Grayson's.
Grayson, yes.
I just got contacted yesterday from one of our agents looking for an estate sale company and referred them over to Grayson's. Yeah, they do a great job. I personally don't know of any other company that does that, but
yeah, they're pretty much the one here. There's a online company called Kbid. If you go to kbid.com, it's a national company and they do an online auction venue. So you might want to check those out. It's another option, but it's certainly for a local solution. Grayson's is a good one, and I've heard good things about them as well. So again, you don't have to orchestrate it. You can refer it out. And number 8, don't go dark on them. You know, as you're approaching the end of that transaction, you've come so far, so don't go dark on them. Keep them updated on what's going on and really be part of, because they're getting excited towards the end of that transaction. Another idea is to suggest daycare services or pet services that can, you know, care for their kids or their pets on the day of the move. I was just talking to someone yesterday that he had a huge problem getting his dogs taken care of while he was moving, and he was totally stressed out and had to move quick and all of that. So these are real things that are problems that if you can help them with, they're going to be so grateful and so thankful to you. Okay. You could also create, if you're a pet person, let's say you're a pet person, you might want to create some kits for their pets. Maybe a checklist that says, okay, get your vet paperwork, you know, have a basket delivered, which has, you know, especially if they're moving far away, they want to take a leash and a blanket, some paper towels, and maybe a little, you know, dog treats or cat treats, whatever they are. But again, go the extra mile. This doesn't cost a lot, but it really goes a long way with your client experience, right? And again, you don't have to implement all of these. It's really just about picking 1 or 2 that make a huge impact. If you're into music and they're into music, you could share a playlist if they're going to be traveling for a long time. Give them, you know, some a playlist to do their car ride on to their next place. Another idea is maybe a couple days before they move, prep them with all the things that they're going to need, right? Pack a gift box or a laundry basket with some of those essentials on the move-in day. Like, how cool would that be to walk in even the day that they're moving and say, hey, I brought you guys this, that just some paper towels, paper plates, things you might need, light bulbs, you know, whatever those things are, and just show up with that. Again, it goes a long way. Another idea is to have the offer to have the locks changed. Okay, that's not that expensive, something that usually everyone wants to do.
Or Roberta,
so maybe
Roberta can handle that.
Or Roberta, right. So utilize that, and it's free. All right, and this was kind of a fun one, and I would kind of put this in the, if you wanted to be, in the luxury category. Make the keys memorable. Instead of handing them over some gross, disgusting old keys, you know, maybe have some new ones made. Tiffany has key rings that are really, really nice quality. They come in the beautiful blue box, quality box. You know, again, just go the extra mile to make it a little bit more memorable, right? That's just something fun you could do. That would be very much appreciated. You know, calling your client the day before, not the day that they're moving, but the day before, and just wish them a successful move. Just let them know you're thinking about them. Okay. Another idea is to, on the day of their move, order pizza, salad, snacks. Does anybody do that? You do? Okay. So what do you do, Leo? Tell us about it.
Well, just that, and not anymore because I'm not a spring chicken anymore, but back in the day, I used to do quite a bit, even as far as helping remodel for somebody who doesn't know how to remodel, or at least giving some directions and getting in there and getting dirty. But, I was in the process of building lifelong relationships. So I really went above and beyond.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
but the
Fantastic.
same people, 23 years later are still using me. And so that's what I always, had that premise with.
Right, right. Anybody else have anything that they do either during the transaction, like the contingency time frame, or anything that you do that's kind of special that you're willing to share with us?
Trade secrets.
Yeah.
Guess I'll save that for the next meeting.
All right. So, okay. So that either means you're not willing to share, or you don't have anything yet. So I would say pick one thing out of here to start implementing that will create, like Leo said, these lifelong relationships. And then maybe even, I love this idea, giving a moving day gift. So go to the house ahead of time. A lot of times, you'll have the key at the very end, and have a surprise waiting for them, right? You can stock the pantry or put some snacks and waters, flowers, things like that on the counter. So when they arrive, they see that that's for you. That's a cool thing to do. Leave a bottle of wine with wine glasses on the counter for them. And I promise I'm not getting any commission from Tiffany, but I saw this is pretty cool. They've got just wine glasses. They're $70. They come in the nice box. Having that with a bottle of wine sitting on the counter when they walked in the door doesn't cost you a ton of money, but it really does kind of elevate the gift giving, and really does make people feel appreciative.
Oh, you can even have those etched, their initials, their names. If they have a company, their company name. Just to add something else to this whole gift giving, there's a company out there. It's called clientgiant.com. They've been all over the speaking circuit for the last few years. A buddy of mine, former Remax agent, owner, actually created this program, and it's a closing gift program that goes throughout the year. So you pay a fee, you have different levels of services that they'll provide. They'll give out different gifts at different times of the year on behalf of you to the clients. And it's actually a great way, and has been a phenomenal program to implement. And again, varying prices depending upon your budget, depending on the level of clientele. So definitely consider it, clientgiant.com. And I'm not a paid person.
And you're not getting commission on this either.
Definitely not.
I'll just stop here for a second and just talk about the importance of these little things along the way. There was, one time I was going actually to the Four Seasons down in Carlsbad, and had never stayed there before. And about 2 weeks before I was going to stay, and then my kids were really, really young at the time, they called me 2 weeks before we were going to check in, and they said, just want to verify that you're checking in on such and such date. And oh, by the way, we understand you're bringing your kids. Would you like us to baby proof the room for you? I'm like, oh, okay. What does that mean? Well, we're going to plug all the outlets up. We'll put, little padding around the coffee table. And they talked about a few other things, and I said, oh yeah, that sounds great. Well, I would love it. And then the day we arrived there, not only was that already done, but they asked my kid's name on that phone call and all of that. They had the kids' names spelled out on the bathtub with those little squishy things that float in the bathtub for little kids. Had both of their names on the bathtub with little toys, and the whole room baby proofed. Now, it probably didn't cost them much at all to do that, but I'm still telling the story today. That is amazing customer service to me. And so it really is about the little things, that are thoughtful. And the more, so for, those of you who are feeling like, well, I really can't afford Tiffany or whatever, the more thoughtful the gift, the more you know your clients, what they like and dislike, the less you have to spend, because it's just the thought that counts, right? That you were thinking of them. So as you're pulling ideas out of this today, think of those clients that you can be really thoughtful with, and it doesn't take a lot of money to really impress them. Okay. All right, a couple more here. Take pictures along the way. Take photos of the house in its present condition. I just had a client say, oh my gosh, do you have pictures? Because we're totally remodeling and I really want to do like a before and after book, something like that. So, you know, look to those types of things where you can maybe even create a little book of what the house looked like before and, you know, have some of your information on it. Again, not very expensive, but goes a long way. With regards to creating a more custom gift, you know, if it's a beach house gift, make it beachy. You know, could you put together a basket, you know, of towels and, you know, boogie boards and things like that. Look at maybe local membership at a local museum or a pass to some kind of entertainment. Like if I had a young family moving into Long Beach somewhere, and they might, you know, really dig having a membership to the aquarium because they had little kids. You know, little things like that that are really kind of more customized to them, again, go a long way. If there's people that have mentioned that they would really love to have a home organizer, somebody to come in and help them, could you get them a consultation with that person? Like it really shows that you're listening to them. So think about those things also. So just really quickly, the resources that we talked about, uline.com for moving boxes, supplies, things like that if you want to order it online. Kbid, I mentioned that as the online auction venue that hosts, you know, business and personal liquidations throughout the year. They also have a Facebook page you could check out. So if somebody wanted to do something more virtual, they could check that out. And what will you implement into your client experience today? Remember, we resonate with the experience. We refer based on experience, and people will pay more. Look at the cost to get into Disneyland. They're all about the client experience, right? So did any one of these things resonate with you guys? Any one thing that you'd pick out that you might implement?
I wasn't taking very good notes myself, but
I like the, you know, like if you get a family with kids, buy them a yearly beach pass for $170 so they can go park right at the sand. That's cool.
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, if you did that to your top clients, yeah, that's a great thing. Who are consistently referring you, absolutely.
Right. Does anybody have anything that you guys do that you could share with us?
Make sure that the loan docs are ready for them to sign. I'm kidding.
That might be
Always a plus.
an important thing to consider.
Always a plus. Well, I'll send this slide deck. We'll get this out to everyone. So if you guys want to go back through it and just take a look at it. Remember, this is the one way we can really disrupt the disruptors by enhancing the relationships that we have with our clients and really, you know, not only being that go-to person in real estate, but also that person that they really trust to help them with their next move later on. So make the client experience awesome.
Yeah, hopefully some of this, you know, gave you some ideas on what to implement if you didn't already have some yourself, but maybe it inspired you to come up with some other creative ways and things that are more to you and your liking and relates to your client experience. So think about it, but more importantly, implement it. So.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for being here.
Right.
Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. So
have an awesome day. Happy selling.
All right. Go get them, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Leo.
Have a good day.
Bye.